back at it again. Day one as a funded trader. Feels good to be able to say that. We got the papers yesterday, signed off on everything, and now it's official. We trade for the SFT team now. You know, very, very good about it. Feeling very good about it. Young accomplishment made. And I feel like the channel is just gonna take a different turn now, as we're rather just gonna be focusing on the journey. We're currently at 10k USD funded. We're trying to get it all the way up to 100,000 by the end of next year. I feel confident to say we could do it by June actually. But we're gonna track it. I took the first trade on the account, took a loss. Looking back at it, I'm gonna speak on it in today's video. Let me just get my journal. And yeah, NFP today. Let's go to our chart. Hit a chart today. Let me just hit Twitter quickly, because I'm kind of like tweeting through it. If you're curious to follow, hit me up on Twitter. That's where we at with it. That's where we at with it. SCHMDII. That is the Twitter account. And yeah, man, I'm just like really tweeting through the NFP session today. Looking at NASDAQ. And yeah, this is how we started off the day. Really, we noted the high of the Asian session and as well as the low. Well, not really the high of the Asian session, but the highest high relative to where we were. We noticed that price opened to the downside, piercing the previous session's low, or the Asian session or the Asian range low, and that just put us in the mode that okay, it's time to buy. So London session, we noted the where we were relative to this range here. We were at the equilibrium point, so we just took out that sell side liquidity from the Asian session, went low, and originally I was going to sell. I first looked to take the sell, but then once I saw price invert above the fair value gap that I'd used to sell, I then figured, okay, time to buy. And then this is where price was not too long ago. Excuse me, that's where price was not too long ago. And yeah, I'll go over everything else now so that we have more context. So I will first go over to the 5-minute time frame just to speak on the entry that we saw. Or rather, let me start on the H1. Started off on the H1, we noticed that fair value gap just above us. We noted the range of Asia. For me, I did it from 8 up until midnight. So that range, if that 8 p.m. to midnight range is broken, like we break the downside, and I'm bullish for that day, I will look to buy. If I'm bearish and we break the upside, I will look to sell once price breaks above that. Price is currently bullish. Let's look at the daily, our long-term trend. We're currently in a bit of a chop range, but for the most part, the trend has been bullish, as you can see there. So we were looking for buys after price gave us another hint. Let me go to the 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour, I measured this range here from that bottom all the way to that top. I noticed we're in a premium, so a part of me was like thinking, if we were to go bearish or to sell off from this area, where would price most likely go? I noticed the low there and I marked that out. That's what informed the initial sell idea this morning. I thought I could sell and price would progress down into that fair value gap over there, but that wasn't the case. Let's go to the M15. Looking back at it, I should have just saw how we were spooling to the upside and how price was respecting these order blocks here. We respected it nicely over there. We came at it again here again. That 50% mark is the halfway range of this, the halfway point of the range low there up until the range high over there. Should have saw that fair value gap order block and then anticipated price bouncing up. But like I said, as we go down to the 5-minute, initially when I saw price at 3 a.m. rechecked from this fair value gap over there, I was like, okay, let's sell. Looking to at least target that order block over there as my first entry or first target. But then we just had to swap plans, nothing crazy. Price shot up, closed above the fair value gap. We found support, and then when that happened, I noticed this, like once that candle formed, and then once that while we're forming this one, I then went on to plan my limit order. As you can see, it still exists there. Originally I wasn't really whoopsie, kick the mic. So originally we weren't really trying to go in with the SFT account. We got a free evaluation via Alpha Capital, shout out to them, and that's more of our YOLO account. We figured let's get it. So on the YOLO account, the entry went on spot on perfectly. But now as price started to shoot up, I got FOMO. I figured, hey man, it's pretty low hanging fruit that price would get up to that double top over there roughly. As you can see, it did get up to there, right? So I'm here doing my measurements and I'm saying, yo, that's at least the 28 point range. I could make some coins off of that if I trade a standard lot. And so what did I do? I entered one lot via my SFT account, a more of a delayed entry, not exactly where I would have loved it to be. I entered somewhere in this vicinity here. Somewhere in that vicinity over there. Now, initially my stop was to be below that. And then once I was in the trade, obviously I wanted to de-risk as quickly as possible. I think I had a total of $70 on the line. So I trailed my stop up to just below that this order block here. This was before it formed. It was like roundabout here, somewhere there. So as you can see, I did get stopped out. If only I wasn't so aggressive with my trading of the stop loss, I would have been still in the trade till now, or rather I would have exited my initial target, which was right over there. Calm lesson to learn. I think in future I should not try to contaminate the accounts. Like I should have one account that's strictly for London. I think that will be the Alpha Capital one. I'll just delegate it to taking setups in London session, and the SFT one I'll use that for my the SFT account I'll use it for my New York trades, and I think that's how we'll just function from now on. So that's that on that. With the proper entry that I did on the SFT account, I did chill the stop up a bit too high. I should have just left it just beneath there, as I had it underneath this order block over there. In future, I will be not super quick to trail my stops before price ever so clearly breaks out. I also just make sure that I assume a risk that isn't way too crazy, not way too crazy. And I think we'll just push from there gladly. Right now what I'm watching, I don't use no more. I'm watching this fair value gap over here. Currently I have a pending order with a stop loss just below this low here. Since we're spooling up, I don't expect price to come below that candle over there, so I anticipate us just being tapped in and then moving up. We're also close to this inversion fair value gap over there on the hourly, or I could just look at this as a balanced price range. Let's say that, and then yeah, I'll just tap in there and then we proceed up overall target for the day that we're looking at is over here. Let me just go to the M15 for our standard deviation projections. So I took a standard deviation, or a fib rather. I measured the downwards movement just before the upward one. So from that high and this low. So I anchored the fib there and I dragged it up to that high there, as you can see, and then it'll just give me like a rough mind map as to where price could go today. So we have that -2 and 2.5. I'm expecting a reversal from there. Maybe something as well from the 1, since we're gonna take out that level. The -2, there's like a fair value gap or an imbalance right over there, and then ultimately the high over there, that -4, that's our current overall target for the day. It is NFP, so the next time I will be looking to place an entry will be from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be looking to employ the big boy account again, but I will be going in with I think 1/10 of the risk instead of a full lot. I'm gonna enter 0.01. So now instead of getting a multiplier of $10 per point, I'll get $1 per 1 point. So I think I'll just push that leverage or that amount of risk up until I have a small buffer of maybe say 1%, 2%, 3%. And then I'll take it from there. Note to self also, I think I should just push as hard as I can. Not really push hard, but just get the minimum so that I can get my withdrawal out. Withdrawal, I mean the refund of the initial fee thing that we paid. Since I entered the first trade today, I'll be eligible for a payout I think 21 days from now, or let me just say a month from now. So yeah, expect my first bag from the account from so it's the 8th, right? Yeah, from the 8th of Jan. And yeah, we'll take it from there. More updates to follow. This is currently where we're at with it now from our observations during London session. I really like this this setup, I won't lie. If I'm bullish, a sweep below the previous session lows. You see the liquidity, we took that out, and then price began to shoot up. I really do like this setup here. I missed the initial entry during London session, and that's fine. I'm about to get the second entry now. Let's just see like that. The 0.62 is at that order block there, but my stop is right below that, so I anticipate that to hold. I don't think we'll get as low to that though, in all honesty, but we'll see. There's another, I'll look for some resistance there, but we'll see. My current buy will be below the market open price for the day, so it still gives it a nice favorable, nice favorable entry, because I'm thinking power of 3, accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, all the way up. That's what I'm looking for today. So let me just plot that down now. That would be, say, entry there, 170, let's say 170 point potential to get pulled in. If we went the safest route, that would be $34 right over there below that previous low. That would be the most safest one. Currently I'm going with a tighter stop loss of about that much, 18 points or so, just under that 15-minute order block. Let me move you. Gonna plot it down there like so. Order block. Yeah, I'm not looking, or I'd like for price to stay above that. As long as you stay above that, then I'll be very happy for the remainder of the day. I'm quite wild for buying pre-NFP news drop. but if we can at least get up somewhere there just to trail the loss, and then we'll be good. We will be good. But I am personally looking for us to get up to there. Probably should have just paper traded, but it is what it is. If the system presents itself, I'll enter without hesitation. And currently it is presenting itself an entry. But this is what we are watching for the rest of the day. Like I said, I'm really loving this setup. That 8 to midnight, once I've defined that range, I look, if I'm bullish, like I said, I look for the low of the range to be broken, and then price to reverse and just place up, and then I'll enter the first fair value gap that forms. If I'm bearish, I'll look for price to break the high of that 8 to midnight range, and then I'll form in the first fair value gap that forms after liquidity has been taken. In that instance, it would be the buy side liquidity. Always I'm thinking power of 3. I want to buy the low of the candle if I'm bullish and sell at the high. If I'm bearish, I want to sell the high of the candle and close at the low. And yeah, that's the method that we are currently looking to refine. I look forward to checking back after, say, 2 months from now, just to speak on it again. And then yeah, looks like we're about to get the entry not too long from now. That's dope. Let's get it. And talk to you soon. Thank God for the skill.